Wait and see if anybody turns up. If not, I'll just go right on ahead with my bad self. So fun release from Simon Hurley. We've got, and I've made several cards and several videos. I went ahead and released one of them. There's another one is going to come out Saturday, I think. And then I've got one more that I need to do and one voiceover, because there's a lot in this collection. If you didn't see Simon's premiere just a few minutes ago, and he kind of laid them out in kind of in groups, I guess. So I'll show you this card, and we'll do a demo too. This one was done with the technique I showed you the other day with using your jelly prints. And I did fussy cut these boats because I wanted this space in between. And so this is a jelly print. These are all, everything is jelly prints, all in sections. So I did the prints, I stamped them out. I stamped out on the print and then cut that out. So there's that one. And then for this one, I used this background stamp. And I have a video I need to do voiceover on this one. Probably do that today. I used this stamp, and then I used the lighthouse. And I used a masking technique. So I wanted a flat card because I do need to send it out. And I also used, and I don't know if you can see it or not. Hi, Chow. I also used solar paste here in the golden hour. And yeah, the lighthouse looks dirty. It's that way on purpose. But this card is super easy. And I just released this video with this little dog, and that comes from the Hot Diggity Dog set. I love this. I want to do this guy. I don't know why. He just cracks me up with that ball in his mouth. I kind of want to put some drool coming out. Then this one was done with the layering stencil, and it's called Pretty Petals. And I did this in Slippery When Wet and Over the Moon, along with Love Struck and Overzealous. And I think I saw Simon do similar colors on like at one of his demos. And then what I did to get the kind of glowy thank you is I just spread out some Slippery When Wet glue ink onto a piece of paper, and then covered that with the golden hour, let it dry, and then cut it out. This one is this is heat embossed, and it's got it's a purple piece of paper, and this is all the paper used is either Simon Hurley or Spellbinders or a Ranger type of paper. So this was in the purple paper pack, and then I added some solar paste in the color, the green one. What's the green one called? I can't remember right now off the top of my head. I've got it buried, but to kind of lightly go over the embossing folder. And then this I stamped into my jelly plate to get these star impressions. And then lastly, this will be the video coming out Saturday, where I did the lemons. I made them into lemons. I'm dying to make them into peaches now, and I stamped on the background with the color Psych on a yellow background. And then I used a stamp from a different set. And then finally, this one was done with pan pastels and the palm trees, which I think are beautiful. So that's what I've done, and now let's do something. Let's see here. What do we want to do? I'm dying to try to foil these because I think they'll foil. It might be kind of a grungy foil, but I think they'll foil. I have the Bases ones and they foiled. But I'm waiting on my new platinum machine because mine failed, so scrapbook.com sent me another one. I'm going to do something with I think we're going to do a pan pastels here, like this one. Let me just move these aside. I'm going to grab my media grip because I don't want my paper moving around on me. And I'll go ahead and grab some Simon Hurley Stark White paper. I cut mine. They send it to me in this, and I cut it and keep it in this little container. And let's see, here's my pan pastels. And I got red nail polish on there, so let's flip it over. And then I've got some little applicators. Let me get a paper towel and make sure they're clean before I get started with them. I know it's a weird time of day for me to be doing a video. I don't generally do them at this time of day. Okay. My oranges. I think I can get some yellows out of that one. Just kind of got to make sure the sides aren't totally coated. This is just going to show you how stinking easy this is. So let me grab my colors that I want. And this is a blender right here. So I've got this magenta shade. I've got orange, and I've got Hansa yellow. And I think I want to add, I want to do a little bit of blue too. Turquoise. Hey Nancy. You shouldn't be watching YouTubes while driving. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if you haven't picked up your pan pastels in a while, go for it. Let's see, can I do this without making a huge mess? First of all, I need to decide how I want these. And I'm going to stamp the sun on. Because what I think I want this to be kind of an oasis. So I think I want water down here. So I'm going to set that aside a minute and grab one that I use with blue. I'm already getting stuff all over my fingers, so I need to be careful. And I'm just going to create my water. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think I want to go with a little bit of the darker blue too. Just kind of blend that in. And I'm going to just take this side of the little thing and blend. Now if you happen to get these like here, like I got a fingerprint there, that's no problem. Just grab your eraser and erase it off. Erases right up. Much more forgiving than ink. And I'm not worried that that's weird because I'm going to be putting the black part there. So now I'm going to go in with basically my sunshine. And I kind of go in dark, and then I'll just sort of fade up. Quick and easy, my friends. Then I'll come in with my orange, kind of blend it through. Come back with my yellow, blend the two together. And then I'm going to come in with my magenta. And then back with my orange to blend them together. And I'm trying not to get fingerprints everywhere. Blend that kind of down into there, back up into here. Grab some more orange. blend that through. Heavier on the magenta up top. That's it, our background's done. How long did that take? I know, you gotta get out your pen, you gotta play with your stuff. And I'm especially learning that now that I found out that I am retiring on August 26th. I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna clean it with an alcohol wipe. Because I find that it's kind of stubborn to clean off these media mats with just water. But a little alcohol wipe or a baby wipe maybe, might even something that has a little bit of, I don't know, I can't even describe why water gets weird with this stuff, but it does. Okay. I don't need my media grip anymore because now I'm going to be using a stamp platform, and I'm going to be using my Stampin' Up! One because we're using a red rubber. And I'm just going to kind of place this in here like yay. I'm going to grab my stamp, and so I know I want this to be kind of an oasis. And do I want this to be, I think I'm going to go more towards the left. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my amalgam ink, my Gina K amalgam, and ink up my stamp. Ow. My elbow is just not liking this at all. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. I like that I've got a little bit of blue and green sticking out. But I want this really, really solid, so I'm going to keep stamping until it's solid, solid. I would like to thank Simon and Ranger for sending me this stamp set to demo and play with. All these stamp sets and the coordinating dies. So nice of them to think of me. I feel honored. I'll make sure I do their stuff justice there. That's nice and dark. Where's my rag? Right here in my lap. I just want to clean that off before I get it on my hands and smear it on something. We'll get our little sun. And yeah, you can do this with inks too if you want to. You can do it with paint, however you want to do it. And I want my sun, it's basically kind of going down, which is why we have a sunset. I think I'm going to go right about there. And I'm going to stamp that down with some slippery when wet. Is it? Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have done my live tonight, but craft roulette, so no. And I'm gonna go a couple times with this just to, because the first time I'm, basically picking up my chalk. Okay. So how long did that take? 5 minutes? You can spray this with hairspray, or if you have some sort of fixative spray, whatever you like, to seal it. But it doesn't smudge off terribly bad. Like, yeah, it kind of does. So yeah, you're gonna definitely want to seal it. I think Aquanet works. If you get too heavy, just take your rag and clear it down. So now I'll stamp the cinnamon. I'm going to grab my stamp wheel for this. And where did I put them? Okay, I lost the entire stamp set. Oh, here they are. Oh, we could put a little sailboat in that scene, but I feel like these are too far in the distance. I'm gonna put do the beautiful one. Remind me that I set those over there to my right. Right about there. And the same. Where'd I take my ink? Oh, here it is. There. Lickety split, we've got a card done. Well, I have to put it on I have to trim it down, put it on a card base and seal it, but I'm gonna do that at a later time because I have to track down my hairspray. I'm just gonna kind of set this aside here. So it's the same, basically it's this, but it's got the water, and I really like the water part of it. So let's do that with ink. Think we can? I think we can. Oops, I didn't mean to take that whole thing off. So I'll grab another piece of paper and we'll do it with ink this time. And I'm going to go ahead and use my stamp wheel to hold this steady. Now I can take this out. I have put this thing on the back of it, so it makes it a lot easier to lift out of here. And of course I got fingerprints on it because that would be me. In fact, I think I will take this out because it will grip. I have one of these separate, and I keep putting it away and then I can't find it after I put it away. It's just typical me. And I think I will use my I'm going to use my Local King rubber stamps pouncers because I use magic mushrooms. Those are reserved for ink only. And there we go. And I keep them in this big old egg carton. And we're gonna start. So we've got, let's start on this one with some let's start with some Midnight Snack. I'm looking for my purple. I have my ink everywhere, y'all. I've made a hot mess of it. Here it is. Crown me. Here. Now, I turn my stuff at an angle, and that's just how I do. Use pine trees and make you a lake. Okay, I will. Let me just get these right out of my way and out of my face so I don't have a terrible accident with them. And I'm going to go ahead and bring back in my media grip so I have something that holds on to my ink while I pounce into it. We're going to make Nancy a lake so she can go fishing. And okay, so I want this to be landscape. I'm just pointing this in a direction where it's easiest for me ergonomically because of my elbow. So I'll go in with the Midnight Snack, and I've got the blue one here. I'm just going to spread this in. It's pretty dark. So these you can do this with. They are meant for blending also. Then I'll come in with the crown meat. Make sure I get it good and inked up. And I'm just going to kind of work more on the side of it here because I need more space. This is going to have to be a lake at night, Nancy. Well, maybe not. Maybe not too much night. Okay, so then I'll go in with Prom Queen. I can find her. I could use Triple Berry, but I really want Prom Queen. And I don't know where it is. Like I said, I've been working like a crazy person. Here she is. On these cards, and so I have not organized, put my stuff away yet. Again, I'm going kind of on the side of the brush because I don't want to, do want to make sure I get plenty of ink on here. You can use whatever tools you have. And I'm going to come right up into both these colors. Okay. I think I need to re-ink my Prom Queen, y'all. And then let's come in with some Guppy. Oh yeah, good for catfish, you're right. I remember when I was a kid growing up, we would camp at the river. Not the lake, at the river. And this old man would always be fishing at dusk. Got the Guppy. And then we'll come in with the Over the Moon. That's kind of a more of a yellow. Okay, we've got kind of our sunset going. I'm not happy really right here, but I'll have to live with it. And then I'm going to take No Diving and make my lake, and I'll show you how, because I already have it in another video, but it's the best way to make a dang lake. If I can find my No Diving. Oh, Trace, what did you do with it? Well, no diving. You ready? The easiest lake you'll ever make. And I'll put the tree line kind of right there. So what this does when you do it this way is it leaves like streaks of light, which makes it look like, make that a little darker, makes it look like how water has light reflecting on it. And then I can just place this right back in. No, I can't use this. Don't want to use this. I'm just going to lift it off here. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! One. Let's get these guys out of my way for a minute. Yes, I'm going to have a disaster with that. We'll hope for the best. Pine trees. So there's two different types of pine. Like there's pines with this, but it looks like pines and almost like, I don't know. And then this one's just the straight up pines. I think I want to go with the straight up pines. I got a tree line going right here. I almost feel like we could put the sailboat right in there too. I don't know, Chow. I don't, you could try it and see if you get the same effect, but definitely the felt one gives you that effect. And look at it. I mean, it's no work at all. See if I can figure out what I did with my Gina K ink. Here we go. Guys, I know, and I keep saying it, I'm obsessed with this stuff, and it works exactly like the VersaFine Claire, only I find it to be blacker. And that's what I'm looking for in a black, is black. Black, black, black. Of course, it's a big stamp, so it's going to take a few rounds. Let's soak in here for a moment. Yeah, her pads are felt too. You're right. Okay, that's a problem right there. Let me grab that before it causes a disaster. Okay. And a couple more with the darkness. And you can still kind of see some water back behind there. This would have to be like a little inlet or something. Yeah, now we're getting the black that I'm looking for without losing too much detail. I'll try it with the sponging pad. Let's try it with a, what do I have handy here? Do I have some Catherine Pooler handy? No. I mostly only use felting pads, I guess. Okay. And I don't think I'm gonna put the sun there. This has to dry. Yeah, I guess you're right. What you can heat emboss on this, because it stays wet long enough. Let's do that. That way I don't smear it everywhere while I'm moving on to the next steps. And the only problem is that, no, we're not going to do that because the rest of my stuff is still wet too. I'm an idiot. I'm tired. Mike comes in at like 6:30 this morning after I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, you want me to make your coffee? I'm like, why do I have to get up so early? There's a problem with my phone. This isn't ruined, but I definitely want to let it dry kind of before I try and wipe that off, because I've got wet Gina K ink on there and I don't want to get it everywhere. I'm going to try it with a brush though. I do have the Simon Says Stamp ink pad, and I do have Catherine Pooler ink pads, and I have Lavinia ink pads, but they're none within reach. Let's see if I can get this off without trashing everything. Nope, I'm smearing my black ink. No, it's fine. As long as I'm careful. Next time, before you try and do that, make sure your other inks are dry. That's all right. We got it. We got it. We got it. Got that off of there without smearing everything. So let's see. We could probably do the small sailboat. Let's get a piece of paper. And I'll get a stamping block. You like the leg? Yeah, yeah, it works out super easy to do. Now, maybe your ink is a little too saturated. Oh, I was going to try it with a... Hang on, let me grab a Catherine Pooler. Let me stamp this down, because it's going to have to dry before I mess with it. Think about, where did I put my Catherine Pooler inks? I think I know where they are. See if we get the same impact. Okay, we'll let that dry here for a second. Got juniper mist here. And I'm gonna grab just a random, this is just a random paper, just for testing purposes. You want to start off the edge, otherwise you're gonna get a little skip like I forgot. I mean, this is a pretty wet ink pad. You still get a pretty cool impact though. But if you do it versus the felt pad, even if you go more than once, you're going to get that watery effect. So there's, that answers that, hopefully. I think a felt pad's going to be more effective for this. Let me clean off that mess there. Okay, let's do our little sailboat. And so there are stencils and masks to color this in. That makes life easy. Okay, I'm using the small one. These are taped on. Because it's such a small area, make sure I've got it going the right way. I'm just going to hold it with my hand. Now that sail, if it was in the evening, would be evening colored. Whatever that means. Well, when Simon was doing his demo, he put some solar paste on there, and it did sort of look like the sun was hitting on it. I'm just going to use one of these that I already have out. I'm not even going to put any more ink on it. And I'm just going to add a little color here. Just a little. And then, see, that's what I was worried about. Okay. I don't want to lose these little masks, because they'll come in handy for something. Okay, the boat bottom. Let's see if I can get a wood look here. Hi, Jeanette. Okay. Everybody's being quiet. I had a lot of people this morning, and everybody's probably burned out on me. So I'm going to take the Weeping Willow, and I'm going to do that same scraping technique and see what I get. I'm just trying to see if I get sort of a wood effect. Kind of, but not really. And I made a mess there. Of course I did. Come on. Let's try that again. I'm tired. Oh, now where did I put that stamp? Here it is. Hi, Susie. Okay. Now, if you want an ink that dries faster, we could use some archival. So this stuff dries about the same speed as Oh, I know what to do. We'll just heat emboss this little thing here so that I don't have to worry about it smearing. Pardon me while I put some embossing powder on. Okay, now let's clean this off. Oh goodness, everything's sticking to everything here. Clean that off. Do a do-over on it. Only I'm not going to swipe this time because it doesn't really work out through a stencil. At least not this small of a stencil. Alright. So, I'm just going to grab still going to use Weeping Willow. I'll just use a little brush. And the sails. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want them to have a color to them. They'd be fun with polka dots on them, but yeah. I'm on a big polka dot kick right now. I'm gonna still do Over the Moon. I mean, usually sailcloth isn't colored. And let's grab a little bit of solar paste. And the same color. Well, it's not the same color, but it's the same color family. Just gonna get some on my finger, dab it off, and then spread it on. Oh, I forgot to color the mast. Hang on. I want to clean off some of this that went astray here on my embossing powder. And let's do the mast. Definitely want that to be wood colored too. There we go. Now we have the coordinating dies. So I'll grab the small sailboat. You guys know me though, I'm probably more prone to fussy cutting because of the white border, but I'm going to go with it for now. Find my mint tape. It's funny, Simon and I did a lot of the same things when I was watching his live anyway, or his premiere. Alright. See, I've piled a bunch of stuff on top of my vagabond. Oh, and I can't get to it. There we go. What I'm gonna do here is I've got this left over. I'm just gonna spread some onto the sky and try not to do it that way. So it's gonna show up. I want to get a more of an even coat, and I probably just messed this whole thing up. Yeah, I did. I did. It's just wrong. It doesn't look right to me. Sometimes the best intentions. Let's see if I can roll it off. Nope, I can't. Oh well. Sorry, Nancy. I put some aliens in your sky. I would do it over, but that would take forever. Yeah, see, I don't care for the sailboat in there. It's too big. Too big. It goes against the sea. Let's see if I can fix that. I think I can. Let's see what happens. No. Interesting when you ink over that stuff, though, instead of putting it on top of ink. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks okay. It's just, I messed it up right there. That's life. But now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious. I know I'm getting sidetracked here and I should just get offline, but I'm super curious about something. Okay, I'm just putting on a fairly light coat so it dries pretty quickly. And this is the golden hour. I'll make sure it's dry before I move on. Still wet. Still wet. Definitely don't want it to be wet at all before I try this next thing, because I don't want any of that mica to transfer over to my ink pad. I'm just curious if it's going to glow through the dye ink. It was hard to tell on that one little spot that I was working with. See, it already has kind of a pink hint to it. So I'm going to come in with this prom queen. I'm just going to go directly down and see what happens. So that's pretty cool. Let's throw some no diving over it too. See what we get. That's going to turn your ink basically into an iridescent ink. Far out. Let's throw a little over the moon over top of all that. You see that? So you can ink over this stuff too. You want to make sure it's completely dry. I can see here where it was still a little bit damp. Okay, so and that's it, because I'm making a lot of mistakes, so I don't want to put this product in any kind of light but the light it is, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous product. So we have the, I lost my little sun somewhere. Here it is. We have the treescapes, which is really, really cool, and I can see using this all year for all occasions. Summer, spring, winter, fall. And then we have, and with that, I had done these two. And I had done the lighthouse. Where did my lighthouse go? I had done the lighthouse. And so since I made this a flat card, I wanted to stamp over it so that it didn't look like it was just floating in space, so that it was kind of living somewhere. And this one we did with the pan pastels. And this one I did with pan pastels. Okay, then we have the smooth sailing that also has coordinating dies. And I think this is cool because it's almost like a 2-in-1, because you get these larger stamps, and if you get the coordinating dies, the dies of course make all this pretty indentation in there. And then if you stamp them alone, or like Simon did, like tone on tone, which look beautiful. This is done on a jelly plate with acrylic paints. So I like that you've got both choices there. And then we've got our sailboats here. That was with smooth sailing. And I'm going to be doing a lot more with the dogs. Then we've got the sketch citrus, where I used it to do this little lemony card. And we've got the pretty petals, which I did this thank you card, and I have myself set up to do a video for that. So when I'm gonna do a video, I set up everything in like one of these little baskets so that it's all really handy, because there's nothing worse than you waiting for me to look for something. And then we used some Ranger hot pink, basically neon pink, to do the background, and so I left everything black and white here because it's just such a neat contrast to do black and white with pink. I'm sure lots more people are gonna have lots more inspirational videos for you guys. Sorry, I'm just kind of out of it. I should have not done this now because I just did a live already this morning. But thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks again to Simon and Ranger for including me in this release and sending me some product to test out. Be looking for more videos. See you guys later. Bye.